Yeah. What's good, y'all? Good morning. Happy Saturday. Everybody back to the Sorry True podcast and all that. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? We got some news to walk through today. I feel like I got about 4 or 5 topics for y'all before we get to the main joint. I'm even going to touch briefly on yesterday's stream, pull up some additional stuff that we see when I talk about yesterday's stream. I'm talking about the surf stuff, right? But yeah, we got a bunch of stuff to go through today. We're gonna catch up. The title though, as y'all see, that's gonna come a little bit later. uh Scary, spooky. We're gonna have to touch on some current events related to that, some updates to that case, and then we're gonna kind of revisit some things that we looked at before, but just like a refresher. And yeah, it's scary, man. I try not to clickbait y'all at all with my thumbnails and my titles. I try to stay as close to what I really feel about the topic as possible. So when I say Fat Joe's career is in serious danger, I mean it. I really mean it. So when we get there, we're gonna get there. All right, before we start walking through this news, once again, hope everybody feeling good. I see some of my members and some of my mods and the chat coming into the building. I don't know if some of y'all was up late last night, but it's a Saturday morning at 8 a.m. So we got to get working regardless. What did I do yesterday? This is what I want to remind y'all, man. It's so important to do your annual checkups. Go to the doctor, y'all. I hate going to the doctors just like the next person. Um, I got a call from my doctor's office like 3 weeks ago. And they was just like, yeah, are you ever coming in for your annual visit or what? And I was just like, huh? They pretty much hit me up like, hello, like, are you going to call us or what? So I was like, yo, when's your next Friday that you got open? So they, it turned out being yesterday. So they put me on a schedule. I dread going to the fucking doctor's office, but I pull up, did my blood work. I get the results on the internet on the website, probably like today or whatever, over the weekend. But I did blood work, did the urine test, check my blood, all that type of shit, to check your heart, check your breathing and all that type of stuff. But I didn't like my blood pressure was up a little bit. I didn't like that because I feel good. I feel fine. I just came off vacation. Like I landed on a Thursday afternoon, got a long sleep Thursday night, woke up, went to the doctor's on a Friday, and my blood pressure was still a little high. Not crazy though. There was more so like yeah, yeah, the normal range-ish, but we kind of want you to bring that down a little bit. But what I think the culprit is a gym energy powder that I take before my workouts. Now, I've used it before and it kind of at times made me racy and I cut back on it. And then knowing that I had a vacation coming up, what did I do? I rev back up for like a month using that shit like 5 times a week. And I think like that's part of it. Like my doc was telling me, like, yo, when it comes to these energy drinks and the caffeine and all that, and it's too much. Like, it's just not good for you. And I'm like, I know, doctor. I really know this shit already. And yet I still fucking did it. And then with the food, just those reminders she gave me once again, like, yo, I want you to cut back on your cholesterol a little bit. Like not as much fried food. And I'm not a dirty eater. Like I eat kind of clean, but it was kind of like the reminder, like you're enjoying food too much. You're having a little bit too much desserts, a little bit too much French fries and burgers and whatnot. Like you got to scale back a little bit, clean that shit up. And those are the type of things that come from the doctor's visits, man. Like hopefully nothing worse, God forbid. But things like that are still huge. It sounds small, but our diet is like the center of a lot of our lifelong problems and cancers and whatnot. It's our diet, our gut health, what we eat. And just that doctor telling me like that, like, no, you can't, you gotta stop that, clean that up. And I'm just like, yeah, I got you. Yesterday I had so much fruits and vegetables. As if you could just reverse everything in one day. I was like, nah, the doc told me, dog, it's a wrap. I can't listen to myself, but I can listen to her. Get your annuals, people, even if it's just those reminders like, oh, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your fried food a little bit too much. You gotta do it. It's important, people. It's important. All right. Yeah, other than that, yesterday was regular. Today, today I'm running around with the little tykes, taking my son and my daughter to an event. Speaking of my son and my daughter, so this is a new one. All right, if y'all been noticing, I switch up my bracelets a lot these days. This my daughter has a little mini store in the house, right? That she built a table with things that she's selling. Um, she kind of got the idea from me and my son, and she went and did this little entrepreneurial corner in the crib, and it's cute. So she rolls up on me last night. She was like, "Do you want to buy anything from the store?" That either means that you want to try to make some money because it's the weekend coming up, or what are the reasons that she asks? Like if she sees things going on with me and my son and she's looking for involvement, or what, you want to come into the store? And I'm just like, all right, let me get up there. So she makes these bracelets, right? Um, this one was a custom order. The bracelets that she already has pre-made are $5. If you want a custom order, like you want to tell her what colors you want, it costs $7. Right. So I bought three yesterday and then I gave a tip, rounded it off to $20. But I told her, I said, by the end of tomorrow, I want my custom orders. I want this one that's like hot pink and like regular pink, because y'all know I do the pink thing a lot. And I had another one with like a random three colors that I chose. And she gave it to me in like an hour. She ain't about her. She about her shit. I said I needed it to end it today, a custom order. She walked back in and said, "Here you go. Like, give me my bread." So, but today is gonna be some. I'm running around with the tykes, taking them to a little event. Other than that, I got some house cleaning to do. Yeah, I gotta hit the crib and do some house cleaning today. But hope y'all enjoying the weekend start. Y'all ready to walk? Y'all ready to get to some news? Every once in a while I switch things up with y'all. A little, sometimes straight to the news, sometimes a little intro, tell y'all what's going on with me. I look at the chat every once in a while. I hear what y'all got going on with y'all too. I see y'all on Twitter and all that. So, I'm not just straightforward to the work all the time. You know what I mean? We build. Shout out to Jay here. Get money princess. Good for her. Teaching them early. I appreciate that. Also cute. Appreciate it. Pre-orders, yeah. It was a pre-order for like 20 minutes. Like she filled that order quick. I don't know if she wants to buy something today, but all right. Y'all ready to walk? All right. I'm gonna start the stream with Rosenberg Raw. Okay. Friend of the podcast. All right, let's go.
Yeah. You know what I need? You know what I think is a bigger problem in our world today? You know what I think? They have rehabs for gamblers. They have rehabs for drug addicts. They have rehabilitation centers for abusers. They have clinics for victims, but they don't have a facility for chronic dick eating. There's nowhere for these people to be seen, helped, served, fixed. I think that's where some of our tax dollars should be going in 2025, moving into 2026. We need rehabilitation centers for dick eaters. There's literally people who are obsessed, addicted to meat. It's an epidemic. I mean, they about to open up. In The Wire they had Hamsterdam. Yeah. There's about to be a Slamsterdam opened up, where just it is literally all the meat eaters hang together. They sit together in clubhouses and all they do is just pass the meat around like it's a backwood. Yeah. You know what I need? You know what I think is a bigger
crazy, and his Amsterdam reference is crazy. Shout out to Froze. I will be clipping that for Twitter. Dude, crazy. All right. Let's move on to a more serious thing that's going on, or stuff that's going on today. Current events, people. All right, let's walk. I'm going to start with Nicki Minaj. All right. Now, of course, we're not in main topic mode, so expect some of this to run kind of fast, people. But I'll try to keep an eye on the chat if y'all want me to expound on certain things. I kind of like that format a little bit too. I'm going to try it for maybe a week or two. We'll see. Nicki Minaj, K-Fed's a bitch. I got your back, Brittany. Okay. All right. And here's the tweet, supposedly tweet and delete. I don't know why at this point some of these celebrities be deleting their tweets. It's definitely on purpose at this point, because everybody knows you guys following it. So, like, I can't put up a controversial tweet and leave it for like 30 seconds and thinking now I'm going to delete it. It's somebody screenshotted it. This is Nicki fucking Minaj. So, what's the point of even deleting this shit, people? But anyway, Nicki Minaj is rushing to Britney Spears' defense, and Kevin Federline makes bombshell claims about their relationship. And she says, K Fed is a bitch. And since the deleted post on X, Nicki called Britney's ex-husband saying, Kevin Federline is a bitch when I catch you. What's with the threat, too? When I catch you? What you gonna do to Kevin, Nicki? All right, all right, all right. Nicki was quote tweeting Britney's ex post about constant gaslighting from Kevin that was extremely hurtful and exhausting. Well, my first initial question here is there any history between Kevin Federline and Nicki Minaj? I don't know about it because that draws very, very close to mind your own fucking business. Now, I know we all mind other people's business to an extent. Like if you're reporting on news, it's other people's business. If you're a podcaster, if you're media, if you're a blogger, but I don't know if that's not what I do for work, which is reporting on. I'm not a news reporter. If I'm a rapper and a artist, and I just happen to get on Twitter and talk about when I catch Kevin Federline, don't worry, Britney Spears, I got you, and I'm Nicki Minaj. What the fuck are you doing? Like why? For what? Now, mind you, I actually do think that there's some bitch shit going on here. Possibly, I'll say allegedly. You want to know why? Because this is her ex-husband, and we saw this shit last week. Reports of, I think it's him, he's the one that said it, right? He caught at times Britney Spears standing in the room of their child in the dark holding a knife before. Allegedly. I'm pretty sure I saw that last week. Now, spooky, crazy. We saw Britney Spears looking kind of crazy and potentially unraveling. I don't know if it's been substance abuse. I don't know if it's been the industry. Hold on to that thought for a second. The industry, her relationships, her friends, the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations of life. Sometimes this shit drives a lot of people fucking insane, right? And or it could be all the above, right? Like allegedly, I don't know, but we've saw Britney Spears on some shit for a long time. What is whack is for the woman to have an ex-husband and him to come out as a fucking man and write a book. Are you the next Superhead? Like now, Superhead was writing about a million motherfuckers, but no sanctity, no fucking privacy. That's where the world is. Allegedly, some people, the Kanyes of the world, accuse Cassie of that. You moved back into your parents' house. You had your little side trainer boyfriend there. You started going broke. You went to Diddy. You threatened to sue him because you were going to drop a tell-all book. I got to get this money one way or another, right? So you might be a bitch in this situation for real, Kevin. Turning around and trying to write a book about your wife. Can't you just be a husband or be a wife and get divorced, or a boyfriend, girlfriend, separate, go your own ways, and then the relationship is over? Why the fuck do I got to come back to the internet with a book? You fucking clowns, you lame pieces of, right? Like nobody in this chat would like that, to be with somebody for years, to marry somebody, go separate ways and not work out, and they put a fucking book out on you to make money. So you might be a bitch. But Nicki, I don't need that from you. I don't need it from you, Nicki. And number two, Nicki, you're at a moment right now. Maybe it's the Bob's fault, and I don't want to get attacked by them, whatever they are, that gang. Maybe it's the Bob's fault. Maybe when you got so many fans around you, pumping you up, always telling you that you're right, always supporting you, always telling you, get that nigga, get and tear down Rock Nation, go at Jay-Z, you're right, let's go. And I'm talking about by the thousands. Maybe when she looks at her ads, she sees 5,000 people co-signing her. And you want to know what? That is mentally fucking empowering. Maybe you think that what you got going on with the people that's not part of your dick suck, you know what? I don't want to call it Bob's dick. That's not part of your little hive or whatever. Maybe you think that those people that's outside of that they're just not just being objective. Like let's say me, for example. I'm not just being objective. So maybe you've lost even the logic as to wanting a reason to read the room. Right now, people are looking at you like you are the next Britney Spears. Look at that parallel. I did that on accident. I didn't plan that. You might be the next Britney Spears in people's eyes. Allegedly. Why? You got all this drug abuse shit, accusations, people pulling up old videos of you sitting there crying and running makeup, talking about this is allegedly during one of her trips. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. The shit going on with you and your man, the crib getting sued over that. Like people's looking at Nicki like she's crazy right now. And dare I say, you are trending in Kanye territory. Nicki, you look like you are about to be the next Kanye. Somebody that is just going through shit, got these vendettas against people. And here you are, right here. This is what your legacy starts to amount to. Brrr, fuck you, Kevin Federline. Brrr, fuck you, Jay-Z. Hey, Cardi B, you and your kid. Brrr, fuck your album. Brrr, I got an album coming. No, I don't. I'm canceling. You're looking like the next Kanye. Now, Kanye, I think, is a piece of shit personality, person, human being, or as a man, the last person I would ever aspire to be anything like. But I do think he has some scars as well. His mother, the situation with his children. I ain't gonna be out here saying that he's not a loving father. He probably thinks that he's a god as a father. But that situation with him and that family over there, the Kardashians and his children, yeah, that'll tear the heart out of any nigga, any man, right? So I do think he's got some scars. Kanye probably feel like he's been abandoned by certain people, pillaged by certain companies. I couldn't do my clothing line. The fashion world didn't accept me the way I want to. Sway couldn't give me the answers. Jay-Z don't talk to me no more. Maybe he has a lot of people put drugs on him too, allegedly. That dentist shit where the canisters of, you know what? I'll leave it alone. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. But dare I say, man, you know what Nicki is showing too? The industry is a bitch. You wake up pissed as shit. This is why they say money can't buy happiness. It really, really can't. You got these multi millionaires, close to billionaires, these lavish lifestyles and homes, and they got everything at the snap of a finger, and they can't stand life. Just chat. Really think about this for a second. Imagine being literally one in, I don't know, a billion, I don't know, 500 million, 2 million. How many Nicki Minaj's get created in the world as far as garnering success as a female artist? And the stars line up, the blessings, the talent, that you was in the right places at the right time, you rubbed the right shoulders, you met the right people, you did the right things, and you ended up being Nicki Minaj. Like when people create their top tens of all time for female rappers, she's on every list, whether it's 1 or 10, she's on every fucking. Imagine being that person. And you wake up toxic and mad every day. The industry is a motherfucker. The industry is a motherfucker, man. It'll make the Kanyes of the world go from uh uh Bush doesn't like, or Trump does, whoever, whatever, I forget, doesn't like black people, to rocking the red hat. Like it's insane. But if you read the room, Nicki, outside of the barbs that probably bolster you up every day, love. It you got a beef with Rock Nation or Jay-Z. These people are holding up your albums or stunting your career or pulling shit behind you. I can see that because I've been in industries where people look at certain people and they're so beloved. And I'll be like, only if you knew how much of a piece of shit that league owner or that battle rapper or that blogger is. They're pieces of shit. They're thieves. They're liars. They're cheats. They're rats. I get it. I've been there in a very small industry. I've been there. It's real, and it will turn certain people insane. But you got the world at your feet. You don't need to wake up and be in headlines about attacking somebody that don't got nothing to do with your relationship. You know everybody gonna look at you for your husband and say you got the nerve to talk about the next woman husband, bitch. Allegedly, but it's Nicki. All right, I can keep going, but this is supposed to be the flash news segment, so I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. We're gonna go here next. Is this controversial to y'all? How do y'all feel? Let me turn this heat off because I'm about to burn up in 30 minutes. I can feel it. Turn this heat off. Yeah, I started out cold down here. It's starting to move into that time of the year. That shit just heats up so fast. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to be sweating in a second. Let me cut that off now. How y'all feel about this headline? Snoop Dogg, gay couples in kid shows is okay now. And it put some, and I put some in my series. So Snoop Dogg has a new series coming up, right? Dope. Shout out to him. Um, the Doggy Land. All right. I guess this is it here. I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna play this. We are gonna play him, but Love is Love, Doggy Land. Let me read the captions first. Snoop Dogg is no longer uncomfortable with gay couples being portrayed in children's movies, and he even put some in his own children's series. The rapper teamed up with the Glad Thursday for Spirit Day, which is meant to show support to LGBTQ youth. And he told the Voice contestant Jeremy, whoever that is, in a promotional chat all about why he feels it's necessary to represent gay couples in his animated kids show, Doggyland. All right, we're going to play this and listen to Snoop himself. Just remember, people, this is spinning off of what was about a month ago. He had kind of a controversial take that he was in the movie theaters with like either his kids or his nephews or something. One of them asked about like a gay couple, and he was like, "Man, I don't know what's going on in these movie theaters. I don't know how to explain that, whatever." I don't think he was bad for it or wrong for it or nothing like that, but it was a controversial take, But fast forward, how many weeks or time later, and now he's talking about his own show. He's going to incorporate that stuff. Is that a pander? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Love is Love is a record that my kids program, Doggyland, presented me. Um, where it's the song where it's teaching love is love, it's teaching parenthood, it's teaching the situations that kids and the world is going through right now in a beautiful way through song, dance, melody, and just trying to get more understanding, clarity on how we live and the way we live. And I felt like this music is a beautiful, bridge to bringing understanding. This is a program that we've been doing for years where we involve kids, and these are things that kids have questions about. So now hopefully we can help answer these questions and, help them to live a happy life and understand that love is love.
Amen. I don't know if you knew this, but I was a nanny in New York.
No, you wasn't. You wasn't no nanny. You probably was letting the kids do whatever they want.
I sure did.
Man.
I sure did. But I had like 8 jobs, and
Are you Jamaican? Because I have 3 jobs.
well, I had 8. And one of them was being a nanny, and it was to 2 dads. And I grew up in Tennessee, so I had never really seen that before. And I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, I'm in New York, And but they had one son named Malcolm, and I was his nanny for about 2 years, and we formed a really big bond. And I was like, I don't know what I can possibly do for these 2 dads, because they kept finding ways to support me. They were like, because I also was a personal trainer.
Right.
They were like, well, we'll also personal train with you, and then you can also help them with piano. They just wanted to support me being a struggling, artist in New York. And so I was like, what can I possibly do for them for Christmas? Because I can't really buy them anything. But I wrote them this long letter being like, you have made me realize that I can be a dad.
Made me realize that you can be a dad. You were born with the capability of being a dad, homie. Okay, a quick chat reaction. I see Puff Puff Pass from the chat says they made him do that. More chat response, not the DO double. I'll member and MSM, you got your membership back, which you're supposed to have, man. Like, where was your green stamp, G? Shout out to my guy MSM. Says Snoop just as bad as Obama saying every black child needs a gay friend. Ahmad, you tried it. Says my kids is not watching anything with homosexuality, and they can't if they can discover all when they're grown. Okay, I'm probably gonna come back to that one in a second. McChilson said Snoop folded. J Man 34. Our member says this is a war tactic. It's 2 Chinese guys or Asian, whatever billionaires. though, that's funding this gay agenda here in America. Pay attention. All right, I see a bunch more. I see you try to say he been a sellout. Philly Tree says he definitely sold out. Okay, let me come back up here. I have an objective take for this. Ah, um, all right. Is it odd to us from the outside looking in that he just went through this about a month ago and he was claiming, I don't know nothing about nothing. I don't know how to explain this to children. And then just in this short amount of time, he's got a show where he's saying that he's embarking on this and it's beneficial for kids learning, right? Yeah, it makes us look at it like, wait a minute, is this being forced? Is this? Let's stay in that theory for a second. I ain't giving him no excuse if it is fake and it's not really him. But at Snoop's level, reminder people, Snoop is literally one of the most famous celebrities in the world. Literally, one of the most famous. Here's the harsh reminder, people. When you get to certain levels, when you stand in certain rooms, when you shake certain hands, when you get to certain tax brackets, it's obviously a must. We're going to talk about Fat Joe later, right? If I go back to old Fat Joe albums, he would use the F word and all that, right? But now that he's on Revolt and these certain platforms, is he going to I'm not talking about fuck. I'm talking about the other F word. Would he say those words now? No. We know Fat Joe be capping and shit, but how about this one? Built for corporate America, built for Revolt, built for TV. Hey, Fat Joe. So they used to call you Joey Crack. What is that? What does that mean? Oh, yeah, I used to be heavier before I lost weight. And when I would stand up, the crack of my ass would show. So they started calling me Joey Crack. Liar. Because we also used to call you Joey Krills. And nobody ever in the history of the way we talk, called the crack of somebody's ass Krills. If anything, you said you hiding Krills in your, right? Let's be honest. So people gotta shift things up in certain rooms at certain levels. Things get political. That might be why you got Bad Bunny on the halftime show coming up this Super Bowl. Things get opened as far as like what you need to accept. You can't say I have a problem with this type of lifestyle or that type of person or this type of color of skin. If you're Nas, I don't even gotta use Jay-Z. We're watching a nicer that Nas deserves it. He's looking like he's walking into a lot of new rooms. Unless I missed something and he's been on that for the last 10 years, Nas looks like he's becoming a power player. We don't gotta just talk about Jay-Z and Rock Nation, or we got another rapper that's looking a little, hey, okay, Nas, let's go. These casinos, and I just saw some other new shit, him standing next to some billionaires or whatever, and some spot coast. Hey, he's becoming a poster child and a businessman and a representation and a player and a partner in a lot of those rooms. Nas, Snoop's been that. Snoop has been that. This is the objective side. This is the objective side. So if 1 week later he's got this shit in his show, I'm just not surprised, because you got to learn how to move in a room full of vultures type shit, or don't go up there. Don't be a Beyonce or Obama or a Trump or a Snoop. You want to know who went up there and can't handle being up there? Kanye, maybe Nicki. They can't handle being up there. It's too much. You're forced to do things that you're not even comfortable with doing at times, possibly. You may not be able to kneel at the football game if you go up there. Reality check, people. Now, back to you tried it's comment, right? As much as you might feel like that is politically motivated or being in them rooms motivated, whatever, or maybe it's out of his own heart. Fact of the matter is, we all still have that responsibility as to what we want to promote or push within our own homes. Okay? If you want your child to grow up and lead a heterosexual life, for example, That's what the parents will teach and preach. If you want your child to grow up hating people because their skin is brown color, that's what you will teach. If you want people to hate Americans and say we're going to burn the American flag, that's what you're going to teach that little kid. Okay? So it still comes down to us, the parents. So remember that, people. Like, you still have the right to say it's not about offending somebody, but if that's the show, if that's the cartoon, if that's the movie, I'm not going to allow my child to see that yet, because I don't want them to invoke that type of curiosity, or I don't want to have to explain that, or I don't want them to think that that is what I have perceived for them to be, even though at one point they are going to become their own child. I mean, their own person, right? You have a lot of people who set a certain type of standard or leadership in their home or teaching in their home, and the kids turn out opposite, turn into Jeffrey Dahmers or killers or heterosexual or gay or racist, or right. It happens. It fucking happens. So it's still your job. Me personally, I'm not really for letting that be seen. I don't do sexual stuff on TV for my kids, period. That's two things I avoid: sex and gore. My kids watch action, so that means you see violence, right? If I let my son watch John Wick with me, I'm sorry, niggas is dying in a movie and shit. Niggas getting shot, stabbed, killed, beat up, strangled, thrown off of roofs and all that. If I let my son watch Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise jumping out of a plane and shit, it's action, it's violence, it's you know, I'm okay with that. I've been okay with that for a minute. But sex, like if I'm watching the Game of Thrones that has a lot of nudity or whatever, no, I'm not. You gotta turn your head on that. Like, you're not watching that. Gore, I'm cool on that. I don't do gore for my kids yet neither. Get a little older. You know what I'm saying? You can't watch Texas Chainsaw. All right? You can't watch that. Same goes for sexual preference, people. Okay? Because it could just be heterosexual, and you'd be like, nah, I'm not letting my kids see that. Homosexual, heterosexual, bisexual, transsexual, you don't have to let them see anything yet that you don't want them to see. All right. These shows, these teachings, it's going to be what it's going to be. I think my only issue comes into play, and I'm going to close it out here because I'm supposed to be doing shorter topics before we get to the title. I'll close it out here. My issue is only in current day society when it's 100% forced. So I'll give you the difference. I can watch Snoop show or I could not watch Snoop show, depending on how I feel, how I stand. Okay. If I send my child to school and they are forced to do a report on why same-sex relationships is, I'll go extreme, better than heterosexual relationships, right? I'm talking about forced. That's where I have a problem, right? Like I think you got to keep these places neutral. Now some people might argue, well, what's neutral? ARP. Yeah, there goes the gray area. There goes the debate. There it is right there. What's neutral to you, ARP? No, you ain't gonna set me up to get canceled. But you see my point, people. And even that within itself can be a can of worms, because I could even go political with that. Well, did you feel like it was forced to have this child sing the national anthem, even though we don't, right? Hey, it goes in a lot of angles, B. And I see why this Snoop shit is controversial. But for me, I don't get up in arms about it because I say I'm a father first. And whether I agree or disagree with something, I need to be there. Period. Okay. I don't want to stretch that much longer. I really can. That could have been a main topic. I could have brought up a lot of references. We could have chopped that crazy. But let's move on. I really don't even care about this topic too much. Why? Because I don't care about her. I've never followed her. Sweetie, she's a musician, right? She has music, right? If you put $5 million on the floor right now and said, ARP, this suitcase is yours, just tell me one song by Sweetie. Unfortunately, I'd have to watch that money walk out the fucking room. I wouldn't win the bet. So I didn't care about this, right? The reason why I'm pulling it up now is not just because it's getting popular, but because I just like to remind people of how ignorant we're acting or how naive we're acting. Like why is this new? Because she's known, but still alleged. Is that why it's becoming a big title and a big topic? Failed rappers Sweetie and Ruby Rose are being exposed for being escorts to soccer players. Now, the moment you even put Ruby Rose in it, I'm not out the loop. Not only do I podcast or I watch the news cycle, but I breathe hip hop, the hip hop world, and all this shit be associated. And I don't know the Ruby Roses, the Brittany Renners, the Sweeties. I don't know these women for shit other than their vicarious sexual relationship. Say like an Amber Rose, for example. Like that's what I know you for. I know you for that. You know, like why am I gonna act naive now when these titles come around? Being exposed for being escorts to soccer players. Okay. All right. So a picture, Singapore, they're pulling out her old files of bags or whatever. Okay. This is allegedly the soccer player. All right. Just want to show our appreciation to you and your girlfriend. Okay. Alleged DMs and text messages resurfacing or being exposed. My message to you are blue. Oh, now they back. What are you doing? We should do a big bad trip with good. Like, you want me to act new? Is that what y'all want me to do?
Yo, you're on cam. You're on cam. You're on cam. Clash Magazine. What you saying? How you doing? How you been? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. They told me to call a rapper, so I thought I might as well just call you.
Your favorite, right? Your favorite rapper?
One of them. They calling me now. Hey.
What's the one that just exposed Little Meech, right? That girl that allegedly robbed G Herbo from his laptops and his passports and his jewelry the moment they left the hotel room, whatever the fuck her name is. I'm glad I don't remember it that easily. But why are they in different brackets? You want to know why sometimes I think you guys put some of these girls in different brackets when they get next to famous people and they have what you perceive as real relationships. Okay. So let's say like a Ruby Rose. And when you see her next to a different guy every other night, right? I don't think that people or Brittany Renner, right? Well, maybe not as much Brittany Renner, but like the girl that was with Little Meech that exposed him, right? Nobody takes any of those pictures or those moments serious. Even the smarter people, right? I mean the idiots, even they don't take them serious. But you got somebody like, let's say, an Amber Rose, right? Or Brittany Renner. When you see Brittany Renner with Kevin Gates, or when you see Amber Rose with 21 Savage, some of you people like put substance on that and be like, oh, it's a real relationship. Oh, new booed up couple. Oh, that's what's up. They love each other now. Okay. All that shit just look like industry, temporary, moving around, having fun, whatever. And shout out to them. Shout out to them. But underneath all of that shit is a lot of opportunity. The guys sometimes want the whole presentation of, oh, I took down Amber Rose too. I'm running around with Amber Rose as well. I took down Ruby Rose. It's the same as the fucking Superhead. Why do we act like there's been a change? It's no different in the Superhead days where I got a bitch named Superhead. She gives Superhead, just moved in the building, even gave a Superhead. People wanted to be with her to be like in the in circle. The only person that gets fucking called out for actually loving Superhead is Lil Wayne. And he's got his weird, freakish shit sometimes too in his career, right? So whatever, give him a pass for that. Weird as Lil Wayne looked like he was a little bit too involved with the chick. But damn near everybody else that's in her book, why are they there? It's a Me Too thing. But you motherfuckers, especially the ones that spending the money, whether you're a soccer player, a rich guy in Dubai that wants to shit on somebody, no matter who you are, y'all are the ones empowering these bitches. Y'all are the ones. Y'all are the ones flying them out, giving them the bags, giving them the trips, giving them the like. Why am I supposed to see this fucking headline and trip? Why? Why? And here she is now. Y'all got the alleged hoes suing people over defamation, allegedly. Sweetie, look at this post. The recent accusations made about me are false, defamatory, and deeply disturbing. These claims misrepresent the facts and are solely aimed to damage my reputation. I don't know what type of reputation you got with people like me, thinkers like me in the world. Like, we think we already look at y'all a certain way. What reputation? But you're entitled to being defamed just like anybody else, right? Legally. So it is what it is. This person never managed me. She was simply introduced to me by family. Her motives are now obvious. I'll let the lawyers take it from here. That's the only thing I really have an issue with here, people, is allegedly this girl or road manager or ex-friend or whoever she really is just being able to expose somebody's private life. I really can never co-sign that, even if you're a hoe, allegedly. I just could probably, I could never get behind that. You know, I want to believe that if me and you is fucking for 1 week, 1 year, 5 years, or whatever, you don't turn Kevin Federline and write a book after that. You don't start doing blogs. You don't go on Fresh and Fit podcasts. So who was the best? Who was the worst? Who was the cheapest? Who tricked off the most? Who flew you? Who did this right off the rip? Who didn't give you no money the way 50 Cent is being alleged with Shorty? I love her too. She's beautiful as shit. 50 Cent. But anyway, like who that's the era that we're in, you know. And once we gave the world social media and gave them the ability to feel like they're next to the average celebrity that was unreachable before. I can tweet you now. Kevin Durant will get on there and respond to me and argue me back because I said he's trash or he's not better than LeBron. Oh my God. It just opened up the world of people just wanting to be inside people's lives that they have no connection to at all, other than you're popular or you're a celebrity. I understand how it happens, why it happens, but God forbid there's a little bit of privacy that you keep with somebody that you're fucking or was fucking. Whether we hate each other now or not, where's your privacy? That's the only thing I fuck with her about with this. Like this ex road manager or whoever she was. I know she's saying that the girl owes her money. Okay, so file a civil suit. I have a contract or an agreement with this person, and I'm owed X amount of dollars. Go to court and prove that to be true or false. Somebody owing you money doesn't mean that you got to jump out here and start saying, by the way, did you guys know that she got shitted on by this Dubai prince? Or by the way, I want to let y'all know, since she ain't paid me, that this soccer player like that shit is bullshit. Is bullshit. Now she's exposing you and you expose her back, and do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you talk some shit about me, try to lie on me, I'm gonna expose the truth. And if you get exposed in the process, cool. But it's apples and oranges. You owe me money. I don't believe in that shit. And that's a side topic because I really just am too past us acting like all these alleged hoes ain't hoes. So then when they get exposed for doing whole shit, we're shocked. Then I'm the fucking fool. I'm spending way too much time on Flash News. I'm sorry. I need my headphones back for this. All right. YFN Lucci says Gunna owes Young Thug an explanation. It's nice to see that YFN Lucci is sticking up for Young Thug. they're buddy now, huh? Okay.
I do feel like he should speak about it. You feel me? I feel like people want to know his side. You feel me? I even feel like Thug want to know how he feels and know his side. You know what I'm saying? He got to speak about it. Shit, he say he got tricked or whatever. I don't actually look at it like he just told on a nigga, but you kind of like threw a nigga under the bus. Yeah. You feel me? And it's your man. So you owe a nigga an explanation. That's how I feel.
So, okay, owing an explanation.
Cause a nigga love you. Y'all love each other.
That.
Y'all ain't just got down.
We done been through some stuff.
Yeah. So now you ain't gonna say nothing to me. You gonna tell me nothing, my boy.
Yeah. And I understand.
Hurt me. Like, you feel me? Like,
yeah.
You ain't gonna say nothing to me. You ain't gonna tell me how you feel. We're gonna keep rapping about each other and shit. Man. Even if you don't get on the interview and talk about it. Hit a nigga phone, but we gotta talk about this shit. I need to know something. Feel me?
Mhm.
So what if I would have went to jail for the rest of my life and I would have never got to see my kid off of that? How would you feel? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't know. That's how I feel.
Damn. As I was listening to that, like my mind went in like 5 different directions. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have mixed thoughts about that. I have mixed thoughts about that. So I don't care about YFN Lucci speaking up on behalf of Young Thug. That's a whole nother topic. I don't care about that today. I could say if Gunna is willing to throw you under the bus, then why obviously would he care enough to give you an explanation unless he's trying to get close to you and stab you again? Like if somebody literally did what you called ratting on you, you don't let that person close to you again. Right. But we saw in the Big Bang interview, Young Thug definitely expressed that like you're not going to speak. You're not going to. It's like, why does everybody that is on that side, Young Thug's side, need Gunna to speak that bad if you already labeled him? Why? Because you guys really need closure. And Gunna is, it benefits Gunna zero to talk. He's been winning to the point where these motherfuckers is all out here begging for him to talk, do an interview or something, man. Come on, man, speak out. His approach to all of this has worked. But why do I want an explanation for somebody that I am so set on ratted on me? Like you already. Can I relate at all? So yes and no. Because I'm thinking about a situation in my own personal life. An ex-brother of mine. He did something that he owes me an explanation for. But at the same time, he and I both know your explanation doesn't mean anything. You see what I just did there? Let's keep it at 1,000. Your explanation doesn't, it won't change anything. So then why would I need it? If I still was pushing for an explanation, even though it can't change anything, that would mean I need you to either privately and in Young Thug's case, it seems like publicly further inherit the guilt or the wrong nature of what happened, which gives me more release, which makes me better. I think that's what Young Thug really needs. Because think about it. If you're such a street guy, if you're so street, 2 videos back that he released, he called Gunna a rat, right? Woody a rat, Thug a rat, Slug a rat, Gunna a rat. But if he's a rat, if you're on these interviews saying, or on these even these leaked phone calls saying that what Gunna did could have got you life, you fought for your life, and you got kids outside. Oh, now I'm getting real pissed off. Think about it. You got kids in this world. Thug got a lot of kids, don't he? You got kids in this world. You think this man almost took you away from your family because of his actions in court. So fuck him. What do you need an explanation for? You already have your mind made up. He can't return from that. He can't return. If I'm accusing you, if I really in my heart believe that that's what you just did, there's no return from that. So what do I really want you to explain then? I don't think it's private. Y'all just want him to do it publicly, which makes y'all bigger in y'all position to the people that you see that are split or possibly sticking up for Gunna or think that he didn't do nothing wrong. That's what they want. Well, that's what I don't think it's how could it be emotional? I've been gave myself closure the moment I told myself that you tried to take me away from my kids. There's nothing else to talk about. There's nothing else to talk about. ARP treated like Flash. Let's move on. All right, let's do a quick Sue Surf one coming off of yesterday's stream. All right, coming off of yesterday's stream. What do we got here? So after my stream yesterday, shout out, who's this? Money Mitch Will. This person, shout out to UG and shout out to everybody that tweets me news and updates. Sent me some alleged DMs between, I assume, him or somebody and somebody that's on Surf's case. Okay. A Stamps, free you, gang. I'm here because they playing with bro name. And I know this disrespectful to even ask. So if you curse me the fuck out. I get it, cuz. But they playing with bro name, saying he ratted on y'all because of the plea he took. When I say bro, I'm speaking on Surf. I know 1,000,000% y'all stood tall. I read the work. You on the case. What you have to say to the bloggers pushing that narrative, you being one of his co-defendants and close to homie. They want to know, did y'all know Surf was taking his pleas first? Again, feel free to tell me to shut the fuck up, ain't my business. As a street nigga who fuck with Surf, I just want to get the right info out, and you being on the case will clear it all. Okay. Before I start reading that piece and it cuts off, here looks like the full response from this particular person. My brother's solid and he ain't tell. Only niggas that ain't street don't understand that it's either trial or cop out. We all copped out to what we did individually. That's how the feds work. It's not the same system as the state. You don't have to implicate anybody but yourself at your plea hearing. Do some research and you'll get your evidence back in that. Once again, though, the bloggers are just being what they are, civilians trying to make money off of shit they have no clue about. And I'm going to leave that at that because I know this a bogus page, but the answer is the answer. No. Okay. So if you look at how this DM starts, it starts saying A Stamps, Stampz, right? Okay. Now, who stamps? People. Who is Stamps? Anybody got a guess? Stamps as an alias is Amir Warden. Damn, ARP. You did a good stream yesterday. Damn. Amir Warden, aka Stamps, aka Killer. I was telling y'all yesterday's stream as we started to read the paperwork, I said, hold on to the name Warden because that is one of two of the biggest reasons why my title was what it was yesterday. The reason why Sue Surf didn't snitch, right? And I said, even at the end of the stream, I said, now the only thing I could change is like a co-defendant, but right. And I end my fucking stream, and this person tweets me that shit. And I pulled up the paperwork and I said, well, who stamps on the case? Fucking Warden. The person that we would have to allege that Sue Surf harmed because he was still fighting at the time when Surf took his plea. And that's what some of the internet videos that have been going up. And I was like, Warden's not on his charge in the RICO. He's not. And when I looked at that whole motion from Warden, right, it looked like his lawyer was attacking the fact that the actual overarching RICO didn't designate him within the hierarchy, didn't give any, it just didn't do enough for him to say, I belong to under any of this RICO. Everybody else there, that's not what the lawyer was saying. But when we went to the Surf section, he had his shit. When we went to the Tyreek guy, whatever, he had his shit. When we went, you know what I'm saying? And it was all individualized at the end of this indictment. That's what I read yesterday. I said, ooh. And it's bugged because when I got off that flight yesterday and I was reading it in the car, some people were like, yo, how you say you was driving up the highway? I wasn't driving, okay? And I was reading it in the car when we was driving up the highway. And yeah, I texted to somebody. I said, yo, this right here to me says Surf ain't no rat. When I go back to the superseding indictment. And then I called somebody that's been covering it a lot. I called them and I was like, yo, who's the name of the person? Because I don't see that. And homie was like, check this video out. And I went and I looked at that video and I was just like, yeah, but that lawyer's motion in my mind, I was like, that lawyer's motion is not about the surf shit. It's about the way the indictment is laid out with him not being specified and giving enough room for that lawyer to think like we got some wiggle room to say, I could maybe could get you out of the whole overarching RICO to begin with. That's what it looked like to me. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, if I don't see anything else by the time I cut the stream on in the morning, that's it. You know? So, hey, Surf, man. When it comes to media, when you get home, tweet me your thank you for real due diligence. Okay. But nah, shout out to dude that tweeted me this as far as the DMs. The fucking DM links right back to the person that I had my eye on in my direction for all of it. Warden. And look at that. That's crazy. Now, said that, if you guys want to do a little bit more Sue Surf segment, since y'all did so much walking with me yesterday as I walked through that whole stream and all those little elements that I felt had tie-ins to points that we should take off the table as far as the narratives around the whole situation, which is why I set up the stream like that. Let's take a look at some of the comments together real quick, and then we'll get out of here. We'll move on. Lux the Goated, who's a heavy YouTuber, says it's kind of amazing that Mass Platform got so big that once he brought this topic up, he got the whole industry talking about it. He had a big platform, man. Got a big platform. What's this one? 52 likes, 26 comments. It says, wouldn't be a snitch if he was on the case by himself. But because he had multiple people that didn't want to bow down and kept their mouth shut, then him taking a plea is equivalent to being a rat. What part of this do you not understand? No, sir. What part of it do you not understand? You're missing it. You're too generalized. And you got to understand that all cases are not the same. The devil really is in the fucking detail. Anybody that looks at a general plea deal that involves multiple people all within a RICO and says automatic snitching, I would never listen to their takes, and I just can't rely on their opinions. Because if you go Google it or chat GPT it or speak with the lawyer, right, the RICO, the count one in the paperwork, it's right there for you to go read, brings them all together. But then everybody's counts are individualized, which is why everybody can get different type of plea deals, different type of sentences. Like it's not all. Some people might think that the RICO is the totality of it. No, that's the RICO is that what people are saying, and we broke some of that down on yesterday's stream. It's the dirty ass government's way of getting at organizations and bringing people together and being able to get the leaders. And that's why even Warden's, one of his lawyers' attacks was going at the hierarchy. Well, it's RICO is being used to tie together conspiracy amongst organizations, which is why the government has to lay out in the indictment hierarchical and hierarchy. But my lawyer says, for me, you don't got me in the hierarchy, which is why in other pieces of the indictment, you see shit saying like, or they even ask Surf in his plea deal, are you a high ranker with blah, 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 right? The hierarchy matters. Being the Gotti matters because I don't got no evidence on, well, they did later on, but they indicted him a million times without, we know he's a shot. Everybody knows that. Everybody sees Surf's chain and his hat and hanging out with Big U and all this and claiming what he claimed. We all know this. But you got to prove it. And I'm proving that there's things going on under this RICO. Now, within the RICO, you guys got your own shit. This guy over there got a murder. He's got to fight that. He could cop out to that if he wants. But if I copped out under the same Rolling 60s RICO that Surf is on, if I copped out to my murder, that doesn't mean that somebody else is hurt. As far as if my charges that I'm fighting is for the car theft or for the drugs. You see what I'm saying? And Warden, not only is he coming out and saying, dude, is surf is good, Warden himself, but his motion, I think, is like a little misinterpreted. Not even a little, a lot. I think people see the fact that his lawyer put in a motion attacking the RICO and the hierarchical nature of him not being specified and saying, because he still doesn't want to accept a plea yet or period. And he said in that DM he copped out, right? But because he doesn't, like, you got to fight a little bit, right? Like, no, who walks in there unless you just walk in and say guilty? But who just walks in there and doesn't let their lawyer earn at least a couple $1,000s, right? His lawyer is looking to see if he could get him out of the entire shit because he's not being specified in the hierarchical nature of a RICO, right? No, like you got you. This is why I say the devil's sometimes in the detail. You know what I mean? So I appreciate the comments, keep them coming, but it's not that simple all the time. It's not supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. But shout out to this person. I ain't in here deleting comments. Only mods and YouTube deletes comments. So y'all do what y'all want in here. This person says, I'm not saying he ratted, but if he was the first to take a plea while everyone else was trying to fight and has his plea hurt their case, then he snitched. You don't need to be specific in a RICO. The furtherance of the organization is the snitching part of it. Okay, so it's funny because a lot of people at first had a bigger issue with him saying, and my co-conspirators, and we even broke that down yesterday. Co-conspirators could be in your case and they're not named because, yes, they sometimes could be snitches, but they could also be people that are uncharged, people that I'll catch you later type of concept, all types of reasons where you could just be named as a co-conspirator. So when they asked him about a co-conspirator, people focused a lot on that. They did. But now this particular person in this comment is focusing on him saying, are you, for example, are you rolling 60s? Yes. Now me, that's another piece of yesterday's stream. I said, I'm done with that. Hey, you streets can adopt that if you want. I think I'm giving you guys a good alley-oop. Let's stop comparing street gangs to Omerta. Omerta. Google it. YouTube it. Listen to mafia bosses talk about what it is. Omerta. All right? They're not the same. I don't care if you call yourself BMF, Black Mafia family. You're not mafia. No, none of these gangs are mafia-like. None of them. It's very, very different. Give the Italians their shit. That's it. And the same probably goes for Mexican. Motherfuckers move different. It's different. We did that yesterday. Go check it out. All right. But if Young Thug and Brian Steele are fighting, YSL is not a gang. Okay. It's a record company. And then Gunna says it is a gang. Yeah, you're, in my eyes, that's bad. That's wrong. Okay. But we're not fighting that Rolling 60s isn't a gang. If all of them is fighting, if anybody on that case is saying, I'm fighting that Rolling 60s is not a gang, then there's cause for us to double back and look more into that. I didn't see none of that, which is why I think people at first were looking at, well, is anybody else fighting while he copped out to drugs? Is anybody else fighting a drug charge? That's why I think people went after that first. But now if you guys are going to spin back and go for the RICO, show me who was fighting the same way Young Thug was, saying YSL is not a gang. It's a record label. Nobody is fighting saying the Rolling 60s is not a Crip gang. It's a record label. I didn't see that. You have to show it to me if it exists. Okay. I'll do two more. What's that conceited bar about Master Splinter being a sewer rat? I don't remember it. I'll do one more after this, since I don't really have any context here. I gotta be living in the Twilight Zone. He gotta put it in the subtitle. I'm gonna leave it alone. Y'all got it. Well, shout out to everybody that be in the comments. I do during the day spin back and read comments. Okay, people. I do. This person, for example, said, ARP, you missed the overt act. WW, it's on page 21 of the indictment. Salute to your hard work. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, you know what? Oh, no, damn, I just took it down. I would have did it right now for you. I'll spin back and I'll look at that. So appreciate you. Constructive criticism, constructive feedback. I'm always for it, people. The corny shit I ignore. All right. But you want me to go reread page 21? I'll do it right after the stream. I got you. Or maybe even on tomorrow's stream, depending on what I find. Okay. All right, let's move on to main topic and hang around after the main topic because I got something after that we got to go to as well. Probably like a co-main event topic. All right, but Fat Joe. Y'all see the title. The title says Fat Joe's career is in serious danger. Is that new news to some of y'all? Well, it depends. It depends if you've been on the stream before. It depends if you've been following the updates. It depends if you know what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to Fat Joe. But the reason why some of it gets rehashed is because he just had a back and forth with Kaya. You know, my neck and my back girl. You know what I mean, I don't know if I'm her, if that's the only thing I want you guys to refer to me as, but a big hit is a big hit, right? They just be like, my neck and my back. Oh, I know what she is now. But it came on accident. Fat Joe, well, was it on accident? Or should he not be talking about people while he's going through things? I don't know. Let's check it out.
Who's on your Mount Rushmore female MCs?
I grew up listening to people be underestimating Remy. I grew up listening to Remy a lot. I like Trina a lot. I always say that I listen to Trina a lot. I used to listen to Kaya a lot, Lil Kim a lot. I used to listen to all of them.
Who's Kai?
Kaya.
Neck in my back.
My neck, my back.
She got some cool records though.
She did me dirty one. She did us all dirty one time. Like, how the fuck the girls my neck, my back? We hanging out in the hotel and she called the cops on us. Like, yo, them motherfucker making too much noise. They like, yo, the girl there.
My neck and my back.
My neck and my back, man. Like, how the fuck my neck and my back?
You should know she coming at you.
Supposed to call the cops.
She in the comments.
Alleged, she could do whatever she wants. Allegedly.
Neck and
I'm
back.
not mad. I mean, she called the cops on us, bro. We was in Phoenix, Arizona. Me, Fab, all of us talking shit in the hallway, and they was like, yo, the girl right there, allegedly, you know, she called the cops. Said, my neck, my back? She called fucking cops on us? Fuck.
I ain't gonna say that because that bitch be roasting. She could roast. That bitch could roast.
So
you just saying,
she roast like a
yeah, I'm not fighting.
Kaya,
she could roast.
I love your neck.
I want no smoke.
Tell her you love her because she could roast.
I love you, Kaya. I don't want no smoke. I'm definitely not arguing.
No smoke.
I'm not arguing with no female on Instagram. And who's on your Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, but it's too late. Maybe I should have edited this before y'all put it out. Jada threw in a little warning. He's like, yo, she in the comments of it is. And Cardi went all the way full warning. Like, yo, she could roast or I don't know if you pay attention to people that get into it with Kaya, but she's one of those. Like, you got a Kaya story where you call it, because I don't know if Kaya lives by street code, then you just called her a rat. If she does, if she lives by street code, you just called her a rat, whether you know it or not. And I don't know, a little not knowing who you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? She's just as known as for going off on people as she is for her fucking hit single. But let's see what she did. Did she rehash some things that makes even us over here on this podcast spin the block? So her response, vicious, but kind of expected.
They get roasted this morning, gag, or the fat Joey bag of donuts, you mildew smelling. You, the people been sending in a lot of shit. You been out there talking about the queen. Okay, you knew you was gonna get it, didn't you? You know you had to fucked up, right? Well, if you didn't, somebody should have told you. I knew it and been told this story, but since you want to tell it, let me tell a version that need to be told. Here, want to hear? Here you go. Okay, I'm on the road at the hotel trying to get my beauty rest after a gig. I secured my bag and took my ass back to my hotel suite to lay down and go to sleep. Okay, we all artists after the show sharing the same hotel, but not sharing the same evidently. Okay, we sharing the same hotel floor because that's all we have in common. Yeah, Gordon, and here come your fat, funky, stinking, okay, spoiled pig looking along with the rest of your crew being demonic freaks per usual. Yeah, Gordon, Diddy ain't the first and won't be the last freakazoid. It started with you. Okay, being demonic freaks and mutants, you know, got a hall full of hoes and underage sluts ready to okay, waiting outside your hotel room door ready and waiting to get drugged and gang banged. And so you can watch your homeboys so you can look at and booty hole because your ain't long enough to reach nobody wall. All right, child. I open my door like, what the fuck is going on up here on this floor? I'm trying to get my beauty rest. What the fuck is going on here? Get home. and clear this hallway slurping and slobbing on dicks in the halls, decking the halls and balls, okay? And it wasn't even the Christmas holiday. Like and watching your homeboys let you tell your crew and your other fellow rappers that's freakazoids like you, other at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning off that shit. Not on my floor. Gaggle. That's why your fat ass got all kind of crimes and suing the fuck out of you and a bunch of lawsuits and sexual assault suits and rape and lawsuit charges now on your fat ass. You sitting out here want to put the police on you. You should have told them what. Well, you ran terror squad, all right. Terrorizing booty holes and young hoes. Gaggle. Back then, and you're still doing it now. Alleged. Yeah, right. Gaggle, you a nasty and you was doing it, you did it, and that's why they suing you and pressing charges on your fat ass now. Everybody trying to act like you innocent. You know I called the police on you for a reason. All right, I was trying to say them. We're going to just tell the truth, tell you how it goes. Yeah, right, I called the popo hoe and I'll do it again, running around out here in these streets with titties longer than mine from DJ Khaled, sucking on them. Kiss my ass.
Yo, she had a lot of balls in there. The one of, you're damn right I called the police to try to save them hoes. Isn't it bugged out how much when just a little bit of time passed? That's how the internet is. You know, they'll find something else. You know, I gave that advice to Coffee Brown. I gave that advice to on video with Stream. I gave that advice to Head Ice. I said, yo, I think you should just leave it alone, walk away. Right? It don't look good what you're arguing against. And some of the things you were, just leave it alone. Right? In 3-4 days, people won't care anymore. It's no different than Fat Joe. You know, Fat Joe, next week, we might just be talking about some wild shit that he said on the internet or some cap session or him and Jadakiss have a viral joke or some shit. Like, we'll be talking about that. But where Kaya just went, when you talk about gloves off, Kaya said, no. We're not forgetting. And this is the reason why I had a problem with all them hoes in the hallway. And this is why I called the cops. I'll call them again. She said the underage thing. So once again, I'm not the clickbait guy. If we go back to it, it was filed in June. And this is what Kaya does. It's like the harsh reminder. I ain't gonna read the whole indictment or the whole claim, I should say, because we did a whole stream dedicated to it already. People, no bullshit. I don't got nothing against Joe. Fuck with Joe. Shout out to Joe. I think he's a legend. But when we read this 157 pages, in my humble, honest, respectful opinion, it's 1,000 times worse than Diddy shit. This might have been the worst paperwork as far as allegations that we've covered on this podcast so far. It might be. I think it is. I think it is. Terrence Dixon, aka T8. Now, mind you, just to be fair, we did both because Fat Joe has a lawsuit against him as well. That's a totally different docket. We brought that up. We kept it fair. I did both of them bitches. But this is Terrence Dixon, his old roadie or stage hype man or whatever Fat Joe claimed him to be or whatever, versus Joseph Cartagena. That's Fat Joe. Pistol Pete, aka Mr. Kilo Rats. We know about him, right? This person, Sneaker Addict is in here. Slate is in here. Rock Nation is in here. There's John Doe's 1 through 10 in here. There's Jane Doe's 1 through 10 in here. ABC Corporations, 1 through 10, all those different companies and whatnot. The fucking paperwork starts with a trigger warning. I don't remember how many times we've seen that either. It starts with a trigger warning. All right. 157 pages. 157 pages of some of the worst accusations ever. Let's stop. I'll do a little pit stops here and there. Plaintiff was intentionally excluded from formal payment systems. W-2s are falsely inflated and reported by the IRS to create fictitious paper trails. He's claiming that he's owed money. Defendant Cartagena personally collected $600,000 and $200,000 in cash at different times for the UP NYC retail stores. Rock Nation received 10% of all revenue from Cartagena's businesses, and numerous financial records were fabricated and withheld to avoid paying plaintiff the royalties and compensation he was owed. All right, money stuff. Is that the reason for this title? Fuck no. Fuck no. It's money stuff. He's claiming that he's owed money. What do we got here? In Miami, and Market America's corporate yacht and its mansion properties, the defendant orchestrated repeated orgies, the creation of fraudulent pay stubs, the use of W-2s while filing 1099s, and the concealment of payroll fraud for enterprise gain are textbook RICO predicate acts under mail, wire fraud, and text fraud statutes. The scheme further enterprises coercive structure and is directly tied to financial exploitation. So the way they're laying out their suit and their claim, they're calling for RICO. This isn't a RICO case, but they're calling for it. I mean, remember, people, the Cassies file the suit, the feds see what's going on, and they come and pick it up and say, hey, we're interested in this from a RICO or a federal standpoint. It's no different than what happens in stuff like this at times. Now, I'm not wishing this on nobody, of course. I'm not wishing this on Joe, but a claim like this that has the type of details you guys are going to see in a second, again, when you're talking about tax evasion, when you're talking about fraudulent pay stubs, or allegedly, when you're talking about sex trafficking, when you're talking about underage women, when you're talking about violence, that's all laid out in this shit. You never know if the feds turn their eye and say, wait a minute, hey, state, let me get that. Real talk. All right. Let me keep skimming. The parties. So we got Terrence Dixon. That's the plaintiff on this side. Defendants, you got Fat Joe. You got Pistol Pete, Pete Torres. And it's going to lay out everybody else, their roles in this, their beliefs in who they are, tolling of statute of limitations, discovery rule. Okay. Factual background. Over 16 years, plaintiff contributed substantially to defendant's creative output. That's the money side of things. Okay. Uncredited songwriting. That's the money side of things. Okay. Almost makes you think, like, why did you end up going at all the other shit so heavy if this was about money? Like, shit, you gotta be careful who's in your circles, who knows your private business. Somebody write a book. Somebody write a book. Somebody will write a book as a suit too. Sexual exploitation and humiliation under duress. In addition, systemic financial exploitation and relentless psychological abuse. Defendant Cartagena deliberately subjected plaintiff Dixon to repeated and severe sexual coercion, manipulation, and humiliation, which further depend the defendant's total control over plaintiff's autonomy, physical safety, and labor. Now, as a grown man, but he has those accusations in here as well, that not only am I accusing you of these acts with these other people and underage women and whatnot, but you also putting me in it, right? This to me is damn near like the Punisher, going opposite of what he did in Diddy case. Like, he was kind of rooting for Diddy. Imagine he was opposite, like, nah, Diddy forced me, So even this guy is claiming sexual stuff, but that is the least of the problems in this shit. They got stuff with the listen, forced exhibitionism and enterprise sexual culture. Don't need all the details. I think we start getting into things of violence. So they got Cuban Link in here talking about the slash. Look at this. Before the slashing, after the slashing. Okay. Forced sexual acts under duress and surveillance. What is this? Y'all, I ain't gonna read it out. Y'all see that I got highlighted up here? I told y'all he's claiming that he's involved in being forced in some of this shit too. Somebody told you to do what? Okay. All right. Defendant's pattern of practice of trafficking-like conduct. Okay. Enterprise's use of violent and threatening coded language. All right. They got some of the codes that he's laying out here. Coercion or violent sexual acts is payops. I haven't heard that one before. All right. Cooling means what? New for me. Everybody knows ketchup. Theory is a baby mother, a wife, or a girl. You got me on that one. To place a victim in a casket. Okay. Yo, he's putting all types of shit on Joe. Look at this. Scary. Minor Doe 1. Minor Doe 1 is a 16-year-old Dominican girl residing in New York. Minor Doe 1. Minor Doe 2. A Caucasian female. She's not a United States citizen. Minor Doe 3. They got pictures. Minor Doe 3 with her friends from high school, the same time she was being trafficked by defendant. The defendant sees no shame in his depravity towards children. They pull up some of the lyrics. Now, she was only 16. I had to nurture that, give her some growth. Waited till I touched the cat. Told she going to have to work if she going to get ahead. Then she drove me berserk when she gave me some head. Okay. That was the bars that they put in here. Cut it in ace. They're calling out drug shit. Well, I mean, niggas rap about all types of shit, but I don't know about rapping about underage women. It's cool. It got over in a lot of old lyrics. Don't make me go back to that stream where we called out a lot of rappers that did that. And nobody went crazy back then. So times definitely changed. But this guy's correlating it to real life situations. That's a big difference. I'm about to see my other bitch, yada, yada, yada. I think in this particular case, he like calls him out also for like cheating on his wife. You had like a little side crib over. It's so much. Look at this. Defendant Joe covers up Dre, Christopher Leon from Cool and Dre's statutory R of K Rose. Okay. Coordinated retaliation attempts by Enterprise members Pistol Pete and Rich Player. Okay. Imagine this stuff we're not reading right now. Go back to that old stream, people. These were the text messages allegedly between a particular person and Pistol Pete. Whatever they're talking about wasn't good when we read it. People, we're only on page 36. All this scrolling, we're only on page 36, people. Look at this shit. While actively campaigning for former Vice President Kamala Harris' presidential campaign, defendant made direct threats to plaintiff from his Instagram burner account. Okay, Fat Joe slams Latino support, blah, 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 blah. Whatever lawyer put this together, they took their fucking time. A lot of references going back across years and years and years. Alleged screenshots of text messages. Tying in politics, people. Yo, more text messages. This is bad, people. This is bad. I know if there's anybody in the chat right now while I'm looking this over, like, yo, ARP, stop, read that part. We did this already, people. Stabbing of a rival referred to as ketchup. Text messages. Defendant uses a burner phone ending in 1330 to facilitate exploitation and trafficking. Niggas got the phone number in there, B. This was bad. I remember this one. They laid out a table. Predicate act summary. You want him to have this turn into a RICO. There's no way they lay this out like this. They're trying to do the detective job for them, the government job for them. Forced labor of plaintiff Ta. So he's claiming himself that he was. Sex trafficking of plaintiff Ta. Witness retaliation. And they got the names. They got the references. They got the description laid out on the table. They got the location. Conspiracy to commit violence. This part was redacted. DMX assault directive. Some shit involving DMX allegedly. Latin rapper stabbing caught ketchup. Cafe Ketchup incident, McMain assault, interstate sex trafficking of minors, commercial fraud, tax evasion, and money laundering, public use of ketchup, PPP loan fraud, unauthorized legal practice, structuring laundering via shell companies. Is that supposed to be? Wage theft and coercion, assault of Dre, money laundering via UPNYC, online threat. How does it even have all this information if it was even close to being true? Jesus. Ghost contracts and royalty fraud, forced exhibitionism and sexual degradation, wire fraud, tax fraud and coercion, wage theft, status violation, structuring wire fraud and laundering of enterprise proceeds through layered bank accounts, payroll fraud, tax misclassification, coercive financial structure. They got this laid out for violence related shit like assaults and stabbings, alleged killings, or ketchup this and ketchup that. They got the minor shit and the sex trafficking shit. They got that's two different ones actually. They got financial and tax shit tied into all different types of companies, and they brought up Kamala Harris. I'm like Rock Nation, like it's a lot of shit in this fucking claim. This is fucking spooky as shit. I believe me when I say, people, this was the worst one that we read. Another one, another table. The aliases role within the enterprise, laying out everybody. What the fuck? Pistol Pete, enforcer, street captain, managed physical retaliation, orchestrated beatings, stabbings, and targeted. Then it says redacted here. Jesus Christ. Shout out to Joe for being able to be on that podcast and smile and show a straight face when this is the type of shit going on behind the scenes. It's a ton, people. It's a fucking ton. I ain't gonna wait. What was that? Documents or pay stubs, more tables, tour compensation, breaking down money, studio vocal security. We've never even read one that was this detailed, people. A case. Plaintiff expectation and compensation. We've never read a case this detailed and with this many accusations spanning that many big, was that the fucking the hierarchy chart? Yeah, remember this one? They try to lay out the fucking mafia bulletin board hierarchy chart for them. Look at this. Somebody come look at this. I put Rock Nation there. JB Enterprise and Enforcer. They got Pistol Pete over here. Somebody come look at this. Pistol Pete, Torres, Violent Enforcement. Then they're laying out a bunch of his shit. They are trying to bring down the whole Bronx with this shit, B. They got the DMX example in here. We read this, people. We read it. They got a stabbing situation. We read it. We read it before. I'll stop. I'll leave it alone. There has been updates on the docket. Why did I go back to it? To say, hey, what's some of the new updates? Because of Kaya. Because of Kaya. I saw that shit. I said, oh yeah, I almost forgot. He's got one of the biggest cases in 2025 still going on. Still going on. So I pulled up two from the docket, some of the recent motions and what's going on. This one was filed about a little over 2 weeks ago on the 2nd of this month. Dixon versus Fat Joe, once again, order to show cause. All right. The complaint in this case was filed in court June 19, 2025. The court extended the service deadline to October 1st, 2025 at plaintiff's request, but the docket does not reflect the complaint was ever served on defendant Peter Torres, this person, or these John Does, or these Jane Does, and all these random corporations. So that's a strike against Dixon's side. Court is saying you never filed anything against all these people. Hell, Pistol Pete, if he's in that, he's probably feeling like he's skating so far. You skating. Now you got a lot of shit in that suit broken down, and you got a lot of details, but why you didn't serve it properly to all these different people and all these different companies and all these different Jane and John Does? Accordingly, it is hereby ordered the plaintiff communicate with the court in writing as to why plaintiff has failed to serve summons and complaint within the 90 days prescribed by Rule 4M of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, or if plaintiff believes that the defendant Peter Torres, Richard, Erica, all these people and all these companies, when and in what manner such service was made. If the court does not receive any communication from plaintiff by October 9th, which is obviously passed, and I believe that they did, showing good cause why such service was not made within 90 days, the court will dismiss the case as the defendant Peter Torres and all these people, yada, 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 without further notice. So these people almost got out of this shit. It almost got thrown out and dismissed for them. Being on the defendant side just recently. But if I look at another update to that one, let me bring that up for y'all. This was the 15th, 3 days ago. Terrence Dixon versus Fat Joe and the order. As agreed by the parties, the following schedule will apply to defendants who have not responded to the complaint. Such defendants shall file a motion to dismiss on or before November 10th, 2025. So that would be all those other people that I believe we just named. Defendants are permitted, or Fat Joe, I believe as well. Defendants are permitted to file a consolidated brief in support of their motions, and each defendant is permitted to file supplemental briefs to address individualized issues. That's the court saying, man, I ain't got time to read all that shit individualized. You want to file a motion to dismiss? Go ahead and give me a consolidated one, because y'all all claim that you guys never were in Brazil for this one claim over here or whatever. But if you got some individualized shit, like let's say for like the surf shit, right? Your own shit, right? You want to write me something for that too? Go ahead. And he's even putting a limit on how many words for it to be. 21,250 words, the combined length of the consolidated brief. Plaintiff brief in opposition to motions to dismiss shall be filed on or before January 31st, 2026, and shall not exceed this amount of words. Again, defendant reply brief shall be filed on or before March 16th, 2026, and shall not exceed a total of 11,250 words. For the reasons stated during the October 10, 2025 conference, the court grants defendants motion to stay discovery pending decision. So the discovery stays while all this dismissal stuff continues, if somebody wants to go after dismissals. It's going to move all the way into first quarter that we see. Behind the scenes, heavy. I mean, UMG and Drake went through it, right? UMG didn't survive a dismissal attempt. It kept going, and later on they still won. Behind the scenes, for months to come, could be year to come, heavy weights on Fat Joe. Heavy. And I'll say two things to close that out. If any of those accusations he gets found guilty of, it's impossible to support or fuck with Fat Joe. The violent shit or whatever, a lot of people just chalk that to street shit. Y'all got shit going on. Y'all, it could be gangbang. It could be y'all into it. It could be fighting over money, whatever. Like, that's street shit. Y'all, whatever. All the sex trafficking and the alleged abuse towards men and or women, allegedly, and then the stuff with the minors. You see what Kaya, like the little jokes that she shot in, saying, yeah, I called them cops to save them girls. You see a little joke that she threw in there? Her joke is rooted in the actual paperwork. If he was found guilty of those things, I'm not talking about professionally. I'm talking about as far as his legacy and how people could even rock with him. It's over. We're talking minors, people. We're talking at least Diddy's shit was grown ass adults. There was no minors in Diddy's case. At least. Yeah, you beat on some women. They allegedly, don't fuck with you for that. But there was no kids involved in it. You can say, yeah, this girl was a little young. She might have been groomed early. You know what I mean, young, impressionable girl. No minors in his shit, though. It's a lot of minor Jane Does in that paperwork. Okay? It would be impossible to fuck with him if any of that was to be proven to be true. as far as his career being canceled behind all of that, obviously. Okay, everybody steps away from you. Companies, revolts, your friends. And that's going to take me to my second one. I just like to remind people pick and choose, and they do that when it's convenient. They'll say, if you got the accusations on you, that's it. I don't even want to be, I don't even want to be accused of something like that. What type of real nigga is ever even accused of being with a minor or R-ing a woman or doing some Diddy type shit? What a real nigga ain't even never accused of it. Is anybody giving Fat Joe that energy right now? While he's up on that podcast and we all laughing about his stories of robbing the gyms and all that type of shit? No, you don't lie to me. Look who I know about the indictment. This chat knows about the indictment, but all his friends don't. Not the indictment, my bad. I mean, lawsuit. But his friends don't. He's on that couch however often they shoot, once a week, twice a week, whatever, sitting right next to who all y'all say is one of the most respected rappers of all time, Mr. Top 5 Dead or Alive, Jadakiss. He's sitting right there next to those type of accusations. So what do you say about Jadakiss? The truth is, we don't say nothing because everybody just wants to wait and let the man get tried throughout all of this shit, go through the process, and we'll find out if you're guilty or not. So it's very convenient. It's very cliche. And sometimes it's even fake when you hear people say, oh, real niggas don't even have the accusations. Allegedly, yes, they do. Okay? All right. I got one more topic. I want to pull up the Gucci Man shit. And then I'm going to ask y'all, not controversial questions. I'm just going to ask y'all where y'all stand on certain things. Gucci Man says he respects Jeezy for not escalating things and playing a diss track after Gucci played the truth at their verses. All right, let's hear the words.
I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't never said this though. After I did what song I did? The Truth.
Yeah, the truth.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he stopped and did what he did.
Yeah.
Because if he would have played Stay Scrap, I don't think I could have took it. Like I guess he seen the situation, said, let's calm it down.
Yeah.
Because it would have been like a volcano. It would have.
Oh, you was already ready to go there. I seen you moving. I seen you.
I was ready. I was ready to go there.
You had on the coat.
I really was in the heat of the moment. I didn't intend for it to be like that. I didn't intend to go there like that.
Yeah.
But then it's like once you get there, it's like it just
fuck all that.
Man, it just gloves off. The stuff I said and all that, like none of that was planned. That jump was just, you know, you just
off the cuff.
It was just, it was just.
Was at home like, ooh, that is ooh, air for air. Ooh, that is Gucci great. Ooh. But Jeezy kind of for the grown folk. You know what, bro? I stand all the rest did all that shit he did then.
I tell you what.
That shit kind of was hard too, though.
Yeah, I respected it.
Yeah.
I respect
you said if you trying to come in and stay strapped, you throwing the mic
because see, listen, I thought that I'm the level-headed one. You know, I'm like mature now. So like that side of me don't come out no more.
Yeah.
So that's how I came and going into the verses. But once I started the verses, it seemed like he was more level-headed and calmer than I was. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because I'm dropping diss records. He didn't drop no diss records.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But that's how I looked at it. Like, damn. So it kind of made me. I ain't gonna say,
with you? Who with you?
Oh, I had it with me.
What they what they were saying when the Truth was playing? They were rapping it.
Man, they ready. They ready. They with it. They want to go. I got to stop them. Tell them, hey, look, don't do that way. Like the energy probably what made me like that. Cause my dude energy, they ready.
Oh, so he had to figure out a way to be like.
I ain't saying he had to, but you know what I'm saying. I feel like
that was smart.
That was smart, and they were like it brought everything to like a respect level. Like from then on, we kind of like. We ain't been no disrespect since then.
Nah, that's why I said I seen that. That's why I said that. Like, you know, I'm having a back and forth with my kids.
In that moment, Jeezy had the
like, no, man,
to be able to
Gucci. Nah. I was like, bro, really, Jeezy did some grown man shit. That's just how I felt when I seen it. It don't matter what. I know what shout on. I know.
Yeah, I remember seeing the footage of the let out to their verses. Man, there was so many guys out there holding rifles and armed security, moving their cars out and everything. Like that's not a verses I would go to. Like because the way Jeezy and Gucci is just, I don't know, 1/10 of flares or whatever, and you got 1,000 rounds going off in all these different directions. You know, like I just wouldn't go to that one. Like I'm cool. But if we go back to it, man, oh yeah, it was tense. We lived that moment live, right? Remember?
Tell you what,
Put that nigga ass in the dirt.
Damn.
tell you what,
Smoking on Pookie Load tonight.
I tell
Damn.
you what. I tell you what, this how we gonna do this.
Send some more, I'm gonna send them the same way. In a
Damn.
box back to you.
Are you
Damn.
doing too
Free
much
kill.
talking?
Damn.
Free
Come on,
kill.
man. I tell you
Damn.
what though. See, when I even called you and extended this invite, my nigga, I did it as a real man. It's been 20 motherfucking years. You still
15
talking,
years.
okay, well, how many? You still talking the same shit. You feel me? Still talking the same shit.
Hey man, you
So hold
gotta
on, let
take
me
that.
talk.
Listen,
Let me talk, my
listen,
nigga. Let me talk.
listen.
Let me talk.
I don't want to talk. I'm through
Let me
talking. It's
talk,
your
my
turn to
nigga.
do the song.
That's
What
right.
are we gonna
That's
do?
right. That's right.
Are we gonna do some music or
I tell you what. I tell you what, my nigga. I tell you what. It go like this. When I extended the invitation, I did it as a real man. You feel me? Because
And
I
I
said,
told you
hold on,
straight
let
off
me-
the
let me-
dribble.
let me-
I told you off the dribble, nigga, we can't do nothing if it ain't street. If I can't perform the
Okay,
truth, we
it's all
can't do
good.
it.
It's all
It's
good.
okay.
But let me
Hey,
say
man.
my piece. Let me say my piece.
Take off.
Let me say my piece. It's like this, bro. I extended my hand because I'm a real man. And the shit we came from in the street, dog, you seen it. We've been through it, dog. 20 years. 20 years. And when I said I wanted to do this shit for the culture, that's what I wanted to do, nigga. I brought you here to show you the world care about what the fuck we got going on because we are the culture. You feel me? Me and you. Where we came from. What we been through, nigga. Us. Me and you. All these kids out here doing what the fuck they do because they saw what went on with us, dog. So this shit ain't about me. This shit ain't about you. You feel what I'm saying? This shit by King Von. This shit by Doe B. This shit by Nipsey Hussle. This shit by motherfucking Pop Smoke, M3. And I'm real enough to do that, nigga. Because one thing about it, 2 things for sure, 3 things for certain.
Did y'all see the way Gucci when the song dropped? That nigga Gucci said. I got one more piece I'm gonna get to with that in a second, but let me just give y'all my little take there on that. First and foremost, Gucci, like he's not in the wrong for that. You know, like you could say there's a time and a place, and yo, like you shouldn't have done it. But as far as why he did it, you got to think about it, man. Like there's just certain things that happen in this world, and you are justified to feel away forever. If it's true that Jeezy sent them people at him and he had to shoot his way out to save his own life, then it's fuck you. I don't care if I'm running for president. I still might say fuck you. Yeah, smoking on this. And I'm not saying once this I wouldn't do it. It's a time and a place. But if he feel that way, he's justified. He believes that the man tried to take his life. Tried to take his life. I feel kind of towards certain people, and it ain't even been about no life attempt. It just be like, nah, I know what you did, so it's fuck you forever. You know what I mean? Like he's justified. He's justified. Here's a question I have for y'all, and I'm pull up another clip after this. Chat. Was Jeezy scripted there? That's why I pointed out how Gucci turned his head like that, because I'm hearing you out. I'm listening to this positive speech. And you and your DJ obviously have it coordinated that when you say, but one thing's for sure, 2 things for certain, nigga, I'm the realest nigga in it. That nigga Gucci said, to set it up to a song like that. Now, obviously, Jeezy, I think, is a good enough talker where I don't think like word for word that was scripted. But he knew the song was coming. Gucci told him, I'm not doing this unless I can't do, right? So Jeezy had to think leading into the verses, when he does this song, what's going to be my reaction? Am I going to sit still? Am I going to spin it into one of my hits? Am I going to get conscious on y'all and give y'all a speech? And that's what he decided. I don't think Jeezy's moment right there was 100% organic. Like, oh, he's doing that song. Oh, that nigga just said, send some more my way. I'm going to send him back to you in a box, smoking on Pookie Low tonight. Because if he didn't have his mind already made up as a street nigga, maybe you would have, in the middle of that, had a different reaction the moment that somebody says smoking on your boy like that to your face. And he just kept saying like, but here's one thing. Here's one thing. He already had in his mind when Gucci does that song, this is the route I'm going to go. And then him and his DJ coordinates. One thing for sure, two things for certain. Drop the song. And Gucci. So, does that mean the actual message that Jeezy delivered is tainted? Chat, y'all go on that. And I'm not the only one that calls question like that. Some people have a way more adamant position about Jeezy when it comes to the verses. Y'all know I fuck with the gladiator up here, right? So let's hear his opinion on this.
I'm from Jersey, you feel me? But Jeezy music did what it did for us up here too. Like I wasn't selling birds and all of that shit, but I was in the streets hard. He said, I'm praying while I'm driving. It's making me religious. Them headlights behind me, they making me suspicious. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm not. I hope it ain't nothing. I just hope it ain't the cops. I live like that every single day. I wanted to meet this so bad. I'm like, yo, this like, yo, why he know my life like that? But it like, what, you know what I'm saying? We with Jeezy out here. So to see him take that L like that and say it's growth. John Gotti died at what age? Google was 60-something. He died a gangster. He's a gangster his whole life. Jeezy's portraying he's a gangster. You gotta be a gangster your whole life. Now you can grow and you can mature and move different. I respect that. But you never tolerate disrespect as a man. Don't do nothing foolish, but put him in his place. Check him. Say something. I'm from Jersey, you feel me? But Jeezy music did what it did for.
Yeah, that's a tough position. And that's why I said that's the verses I don't go to, because technically, like, would I want to be able to just sit there and allow somebody to say, we smoking on your boy tonight like that? In that moment, would I want to stand there without responding? No, I wouldn't. And that's why I say, as a patron, as a fan, you don't go to that. Like, you leave that one alone, man. Y'all can have that versus. I'll watch it on Instagram Live like everybody else. All it takes is that one different reaction, 1,000 rounds. You know what I'm saying? That's how it happens sometimes, B. All right. We wrapped up today. Let me jump over to these supers. Shout out to Jay over here. She says too much DoorDash, Grubhub, and yes. I got on the front page of my phone. On the front page of my phone, I'll show y'all my shit. No, I won't. I'll just tell y'all. I got Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash. I got Twitter, I got Instagram, I got my Gmail, I got YouTube, I got a calculator, I got a calendar, and I got Waze. Those are like the top apps on my shit. Waze. You know what I'm saying? That's my little navigation. But I got all three of them bitches on my front. All three of them bitches. Like 7 out of 7 days in a week, I might order. Some days I order twice a day. I probably don't order. If I skip ordering, that might happen only once a week, like one day, or maybe two max out of the whole week. Bare minimum, I'm ordering off of one of those three fucking apps 5 days a week, and some of those 5 days a week is going to be multiple times a day, you know? But the thing about those apps, and Jay's talking about earlier in the intro when I was talking about, I had to go, I went to my annual doctor's visit and checkup yesterday. The convenience of it, and when you scroll that bitch, you know, we're visual creatures. You scroll that bitch and the menus look good and you see the pictures. I don't even order for places that don't have pictures. It's marketing, right? I understand it, but I fall for it. It's like I'm seeing a picture. Oh, that look good. Like, yeah, I was in the mood for chicken. I was in the mood for fish today. I was in the mood for Jamaican today. I was in the food for Italian. And scroll. Oh, boom, that look good. Give me that. Damn, I kind of could do a dessert too. Like, you know, I train a lot, so that's some of my balance as to why I still stay in good shape during the year. But my eating still, as much as I think I eat good, is still a lot of cleanup that I need to do. And I'm glad my doctor gave my little reminder yesterday. Like, yo, look, you should be, your old ass really shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, I let that go. And the sports little gym drinks that you have and all that might be why your blood pressure's up, man. You gotta stop that shit. I'm like, fuck, you're right. I know. You're right. You're right. All right. Damone TV. Shout out to our new member on deck. 805. Shout out to you. Welcome to the Green Teams gang. It's a secret society. All we ask is trust. What's going on? 25 months. Mean over. So you a 2-yearer. You a salute AR, my guy. You a 2-yearer. I don't remember seeing the last time I seen a membership longer than this. I don't. Maj, y'all might have to help me out in the chat, one of our chats or something. Do we have a member we've seen that's longer than 25 months? I turned on the channel memberships when we dropped the Hitman Holla versus Ill Will face off. And I will always remember that because I had to convert the channel. There's like an entertainment category versus like a music category or something like that. And I had to work with Quarter Lab where the monetization gets shut off for like 2 days on the whole channel. And then you convert the channel and then you have to relink it to my MCN. Like even if I go back and look at like how much, I can't tell you right now from YouTube how much money my channel made in 2020. I can't, because when you convert the channel, it's like a whole reset. So I had to download all that information, keep it on spreadsheets and shit just for auditing. But that could, if you go back to when that face off dropped, if that's almost or around the 20, I don't know, 25 months, is it? So max out happened what, September 23, right? And we're October 25. You in that time bracket when we first cut on memberships for the channel. You know what I mean? So appreciate you, homie. And I definitely got to shout out people and take a moment when I see stuff like that. That's dope. Shout out to Tay Smith, says, morning AR, appreciate the super. Worst thing that happened to humans was the crack epidemic, AIDS, now the internet. It did more damage than good. That attention needle, I hate it. Or that attention need, I hate it. I know where you're coming from. I do have some disagreement about the internet piece. So crack. Yo, some people say that crack don't got nothing on meth because meth is still around and meth is a more destructive drug than crack as far as what it does to people. The crack epidemic, see, the thing about it is it's looked at shorter. That when it hit, and it was like the money of it and the hustle behind it, and it spread like wildfire, and it was so cheap. These fiends was able to get those highs with $5, which then spawned a big crime wave of thievery and whatnot. And people, these fiends dipping in your mother's wallet real quick for $5 that high. They always say that cocaine was more of a rich man's drug. You know what I'm saying? So you got these Wall Street motherfuckers and all that. But crack, the price of it, created a big domino effect too. So yes, a bad time in human history, but I think that there's worse. But then I don't know. I don't know. It's a bad time. We would have to look up how many reported deaths. But then again, it's like, even if I pull up that number, it's going to be skewed because what about the indirect deaths linked to when crack hit? It's bad. You're right. As far as AIDS, see, the reason why I can't put AIDS there because when you go to AIDS, you're talking about an area of disease, and depending who you ask, some people think that AIDS is birthed from a genetic disorder. Like some people think it came from animals. Some people think that it's man-made. Some people think that it was created for population control. Some people think that it was created to kill black people. Like you see it all when it comes to AIDS. I don't know where I stand on all that. I forgot where I stood last time I did more research on. I looked into it more. But the thing about that is, like, first of all, I don't think it holds a candle to cancer, right? Cancer takes more lives per year than if we're talking about disease, than AIDS. But then some people would say, but cancer is genetic. Is it? There's a lot of cancers that come purely from your eating habits over time. Or what about too much sun exposure and getting skin cancer? Or how about getting cancer of the lungs or of the esophagus because you've been smoking your whole life? Is it genetic then? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know. But the internet, I'm not gonna put next to any of those, because when I look at AIDS or when I look at crack, I'll start with crack. The only thing that came good from crack is people that made money. That's it. What came good of AIDS? Nothing. Nothing. Well, then again, if you ask if it was created for population control, then ask the government. The government secretly might answer differently. Hey, we stopped consuming as much of the Earth's resources because we found a way to take another 5% of the Earth away every 5 years, right? I know I'm speaking, so I'm not trying to go down the rabbit hole too crazy. I can, but what really has come from a human standpoint good from AIDS? You know what I mean? The internet, yeah, it's killed a lot of people directly and indirectly. But the advancement of what it did for the world is insane. Is insane. The amount of money. And I know the world ain't about money. There's technology in medicine that comes off of the internet. It's just so much that the internet has done. The internet might be the human species' greatest creation. And with any great creation is going to come pros and cons. So yes, the internet does a lot of bad, but it does so much good. Like nobody wants to go back to the beginning of humanity, go through all the ages again and say, now when we get, what was it, the 1990s, we have this opportunity to create this thing called the internet. Now let's skip it. No, we would do it again. Like, you kind of look at where the world is today, and if you subtract the internet, like there's so many, we can't get to certain places as a society, as an economy, it's too big, it's too massive. It's literally one of the biggest things in human history, the internet. But I hear you, homie. Interesting discussion there. Jay says, Pretty Brown, driving me wild. What song is that again? And where was we at? That was 8:30. Pretty Brown. I missed that one. Jay with the lyrics. I'm telling y'all, man, she throws me every time. Not every time. I catch some of them, but Jay says she did say rich in 8 figures. That's her type. Oh, is that what that you talk about? Is that the songs when I said I'd miss out on $5 million? That's my type. That's my type. That's Sweetie. Is that what you mean? And let me search it real quick. Sweetie, that's my type. Is that it? Is that what you mean, Jay? Okay. I swear on my life. I swear on all my loved ones. I don't even like to swear like that. I would have lost the money. 5 million, 10 million, $1 billion on my floor right in front of me. Fill this whole room with cash to the ceiling. Tell me one single that Sweetie is responsible for ARP. I'll be like, fuck. Pull the dump truck up, take this money out of my crib. I lost. Or if you would have even asked me my type, who sings that, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I don't know. I'm kind of glad I don't follow no fucking Sweetie. I kind of like that I don't know no fucking Sweetie. I don't know. I got you though. But as far as that other topic, I just feel like people are naive. Like, why y'all so shocked? You hurt me, boy. You ain't gonna talk to me. Is that same thing? Is these all those songs related? I don't know her shit. It's like basketball, Sue Surf. Shout out to Surf. Good topics yesterday and even today, right? We did a little short one, a little surf topic. All you ladies pop, yo, Kaya. She got her rocking with that. Good Kaya and Fat Joe top it there. Peace to ARP and the gang, as always. At work on a Saturday, shaking my head. So I'm up here listening. Oh yeah, hit that like button. Thank you, Don Bean. Now don't shake your head, B. The economy fucked up right now. It's a recession. I don't know why they ain't saying it. When they wanted us to all be scared shitless, they were recession, recession. I'm talking about the government. But now that we really see like these companies and the financial, and we really see it, no, they don't want to say it now. Is it because the administration wants you to think that we've made America great again or something? Like, stop, ARP, stop. Stop. I gotta leave some of the rabbit holes alone. But nah, be happy you at work. I'm at work right now. This is work. I love it. It's entertainment, but it's also work. Fuck, it's bad out there, B. Be glad you at work right now, man. Trust me. Trust me. Jay says, I tip high to make sure they don't mess with my food and put some pep in their step. LOL. Yeah, so I tip high. I tip high. I'll give you $10 for a $30 order. You know what I'm saying? That's considered, as far as percentage, that's considered high. So I tip high. I do like that the Grubhubs and the DoorDashes and all of that other world, they smartened up and realized people's paranoia towards their food, but not just people's paranoia. But here's one. I'll use the internet. How about this one? When we get to see behind the scenes of these dirty ass restaurants, when they go into like a Taco Bell or Wendy's or some shit, and they break down on the internet and allowed the world to see how these motherfuckers prepare or refreeze meat 5 days in a fucking row, or there's rats back there, or the prep area is really like this. That the internet showed us that shit. You know, we wouldn't know that shit if not. And it's no different. It's no different than the Grubhub shit, right? People are nasty, and we see these motherfuckers pick up your order, dip they dirty ass hands in your bag, snatch your fries, take a sip of your soda. You know what I'm saying? Like when I treat myself, I order Five Guys. Five Guys is my favorite burger spot on earth. Okay. Johnny Rockets and In and Out and all that other shit. For me, top dog is Five Guys. When I order Five Guys, though, I like that my shake comes with that little sticker on top to show me that, oh, somebody cracked this. Now, of course, you couldn't take the lid off real quick. Now, think about it, right? But these restaurants, they're trying to give us that. And then even some of the places I order from, the bag is taped closed, you know what I'm saying, and sealed, stapled sometimes. They're trying to give us the comfort that these fucking drivers ain't pulling over and getting hungry. So, you know what, let me grab a piece of this. Well, I definitely know I got robbed before. Motherfuckers en route and all that type of shit. Food picked up en route, and then ding, order canceled. Oh, you ate my shit. Then they be like, fuck it, I don't care. Send a refund request. I don't care. I don't need that tip right now. And then they move on to the next order. You know, it's like we've all been robbed from them shits before. If you had an order canceled enough, some of them you got robbed. Nigga. But they try to give us that comfort. And then on a human level, I try to inspire with a tip. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be mad at me, homie. Like, you got $10 off a $30 order. You know what I'm saying? Like, just do your job and I'm doing mine and we cool. This is a hand, you know what I mean? So anyway, Jay says, Pretty Brown is R. Kelly. Come on now, you mentioned brown skin. My bad. My bad. Yo, why you mentioning R. Kelly up here, son? We can't do that, nigga. Nah, I'm lying my ass off. Everybody still listens to his shit. Oh, all right. That rounds out the supers for today. Chat, did I miss anything real quick before I get up out of here? Did I miss anything? Am I good? Am I good? Speaking of which, who the fuck is still keeping McDonald's in business? Nigga. I told y'all, I brought that DVD up here, Food Inc., and it's got the cow with the barcode on the cover. They broke down slaughterhouses and like made the major slaughterhouses that there's only but so many on earth. And how I think they said or broke down like McDonald's has huge stake or is in control of them to a degree. Is the concept of if I buy a cheeseburger in New York, I want the cheeseburger to taste the same in Russia. So how does McDonald's do that? Got to get to a slaughterhouse or controlling type of, you know what I mean? And from the slaughterhouses to the production, they taught us about how deadly McDonald's is, and not even from the internet. Wow, think about this. It's not even the internet that taught us how bad McDonald's is when we got to see that shit. It's not the documentaries of the slaughterhouses and all that. It's not that. You know what taught us how bad McDonald's was? A lot of us as kids had that fucking science project in science where the teacher asked you to get a plastic bottle or get like a liter of soda or some shit from your parents. When it's done, keep the bottle, cut the top off, put dirt inside the bottle. Many of us did this as kids. Put a French fry in that bitch, put a piece of burger in that bitch, put whatever in that bitch. Some of the classes you leave it on the windowsill, right? Some of it you do at home. And the whole project is to show you whether the motherfucker decomposed or not. And some of that shit be like a month later, and that French fry not only is still there, but it's not decomposed at all. So then they got to show you, like, now, if the earth can't get rid of this shit, do you want your body to have to fight overtime to even pass it, let alone break it down and try to use it as nutrients? It's crazy. But it's not just McDonald's. You know, we got to the point of realizing what preservatives are, right? Or the fruit there's certain fruit that's in these vegetable sections of your supermarket, and they're not supposed to stay that fresh that long if they're in their natural environment. And that's when you see people, they take a knife and they gloss over the top of the apple and reveal how much it's coated in wax and preserve all of this type of shit. And then you got the pesticides part of the world where these planes are crop dusting things to kill the insects and save the crops so that they could make the money while killing all the shit that's killing the actual crop, right? It's when you come across people that are so organic to the point where they grow their own food, you can't be mad at them, because it's almost like I can't win. Even when you say, I want to eat food that's not exposed to the world that I have to like peel, right? I can believe in that. Let's say a banana. I got to peel a banana. So I could believe in that. Nobody got to that. No preservatives, can't be sprayed or what. I'm peeling it, right? But then these motherfuckers are going to turn around and show us like, nigga, that chicken wing is not supposed to be that big. That piece of fruit ain't supposed to be that color, ain't supposed to be that big. It now you talk about you had to peel it, but yeah, somebody stuck a needle in that motherfucker and injected it to make it that size, or to change the color of it. You know, all this genetically altered shit. It's like, I'm a fish guy. When I found out how big of a difference it is for having wild caught fish versus farm raised fish, and you watch some of those documentaries, it's like you think I'm eating healthy because I'm eating fish. You might be better off eating McDonald's if the way that farm is raising that fish, boy, they're feeding it garbage, and it's crazy. It's like, where do you go? What do you eat? You're literally in this world set up for just going with the lesser of all evils, because there is no damn near, unless you grow that bitch out of the ground yourself. I don't even then somebody's gonna come along and say you getting genetically altered seeds. You can't, man. All I know is I'm not supposed to eat French fries 7 days a week. Give me some greens, give me some vegetables, give me some fruits. Stay away from fried, processed food and fast food. Leave that shit for when you're splurging or having a good time, or once a week maybe, or some shit like that. Try to reduce your cakes and all the artificial colors and flavors. And sugar is one of the cancer-causing deadliest ingredients or things on earth. Sugar. We know these things. But now go try to fucking eat and avoid it all. It's so fucking hard. And I'm not even talking about pleasure. I'm just talking about it's just there. You know, when the world found out about how deadly corn syrup, not corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup is, that's in soda, you know, you saw old school experiments of people taking soda pouring it on a car and the soda ruining the paint job on the car. It's like acid and shit. You know, now there's no soda in my house. Like I drank soda as a kid. I don't fuck with soda. I drink more water than everything. I eat dairy, but I avoid dairy for the most part. I eat dairy like I'll have cheese on my burger. I don't drink dairy milk. I don't fuck with cows. Some of the documentaries fucked me up, got me thinking that I'm drinking pus and blood and all that type. I'm sorry, it might sound nasty if you got cow's milk in your fridge right now, but go watch the documentaries. They'll disgust you. It's hard to drink milk after that. I drink almond milk. For a time, I drank rice milk, but I felt like almond milk is a little bit better. I drink almond milk, you know, like because I like cereal here and there, a little whatever. But and my kids eat cereal, almond milk. We don't do the cow's milk. They try to teach us, man. We the only species that drinks milk after infancy. Yeah, why is that? Why is that? Yo, is insane, B. It's fucking insane. I had a portion of my life where doing OMAD, 1 meal a day, dieting, you know, that's a help because you got from OMAD or from fasting at certain intervals, you get cell regeneration. You get you help your dietary system, and once again, your stomach to many scientists is the epitome of your health, right? So you get that. Your insulin levels come down. Your stress levels come down. People don't realize how much energy your body has to spend to digest. Itis isn't just because the ribs were nice and greasy and it was that good. It's the body having to slow everything down because it has to spend that much energy to digest, motherfucker, and to get rid of and to move and process all the food that you just ate. So when I got into fasting, when I did OMAD, I had an adverse effect because sometimes people's guts don't agree with it, and you can have either the underproduction of stomach acid. So that's where sometimes you can start fucking with acid reflux and all that type of shit can happen. But shit, people that don't even eat, you know, they may be the best bet. And it's like fasting. Why is fasting so popular? They do this shit for days, people. They do this shit for days. Yeah, OMAD, it stands for 1 meal a day. It's a form of fasting. Got 2MAD, 2 meal a day. You got regular general intermittent fasting where people try to go for 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 hours without between meals. Sometimes it's easier to start. If you want to try fasting, it's easier to start that by setting a time of your last meal and then setting a time of your first meal that crosses your sleep. Because when you sleep, you're off rip going to get anywhere from 6 to 8 hours of your fast. That's why breakfast is called breakfast. It's really broken down into 2 words: break, fast. Breaking your fast, because while you were sleeping, you weren't eating, you were fasting. That's what the word breakfast comes from. Okay. In America, we trained ourselves to think that breakfast means eggs, sausage, and bacon and pancakes. Here's another thing that America taught us. There's a big one for y'all. Side dish. What's a side dish? They're killing us. There's no such thing. Food is food. If you have a plate of broccoli, carrots, rice, potatoes, America got us thinking like your plate ain't complete. Where's the main? Meaning, where's the chicken? Where's the beef? Where's the steak? Where's the hamburger? Where's the main? Where's the main course? What the fuck is a main? Food is food. Nutrients are nutrients. Right? Caveman days, it wasn't about like, oh, I can't eat this right now because it's breakfast time, so it's got to be eggs. I can't eat this right now, or I can't, my meal ain't complete because it's only size. No, go grab that apple off that tree and that's your meal. Grab that fish out of that lake and that's your meal. They taught us a side dish in American culture. There's no such thing. Food is food. Nutrients are nutrients. That same concept. It all goes to the same place. This shit gets deep. I'm giving y'all a whole little food, health, fasting, dieting, poison conversation right now. And I even be having to remind myself a lot of this shit that's out there because it's deadly. I really do believe, I'm gonna get out of here with this. I really do believe that the most problems in our bodies are caused by what we eat. The most. Are certain people genetically predisposed to certain things? Of course. But I don't think there's nothing that creates more problems in us internally than what we ingest. And when I say ingest, that's not just food. Ingesting into your body could also mean like the air. You know what I'm saying? Like if you live in a high pollution area, a radioactive area, you live in the water a lot. Like let's say fishermen that are always waist deep in the water, spearing fish or whatever, that water leaching into your what type of, like, is it clean water? Toxins. It's toxins. So whatever your body gets over the course of your life creates the most problems as far as our sicknesses, our diseases, how we feel, being up, being down, all types of shit. At one point when we were young, we thought a headache was because our brain was tripping. Right now, it's dehydration. Like it's all about what we put in. You know what I mean? Like, try to stick with my water the most. And then they kill us sometimes with their shit too. There's bad water out there. It's like, how do you win? How do you win? How the fuck do you win? Motherfuckers will give me deadly water too. I'm out of here, B. I'll do this shit for days. Enjoy y'all Saturdays. I hope I didn't ruin anybody's breakfast, lunch, or dinner today. Enjoy life. At worst, try to go for a 70-30 or 80-20 lifestyle, which means you got to live. You know what I'm saying? You want to have your drink tonight because it's Saturday. You want to pour your glass of wine during the football games tomorrow? Hey, do what you do. Do what you do. But consistency on what's good is the goal. So if it's like, hey, whatever, I'll give y'all one more. Fuck it, because I love this shit and I love my chat. I'll give y'all one more. They say the best diet is the one you can stick to. It's not about I'm a carnivore. I only eat meat. Or I'm a vegetarian. Or I'm into this type of fasting. The best diet is the one you can stick to. That's about your lifestyle. That's about your palate and what you like to eat and what you can get away with eating and drinking consistently. All of these different factors. For example, if you can say, I eat nothing but fruits and vegetables Monday through Wednesday, and I love it. Thursday through Friday, I eat all proteins and meats and starches and carbs for energy. I'm just making some stupid shit up. On weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays, I splurge. If you can do that 80% of the year, hey, the best diet is the one that you can stick to. When I was doing OMAD, loved it. It's the most cut I get during the years when I do a lot of fasting. You know what I'm saying? But I can't sustain it. It's like every once in a while I'm going to want to eat lunch. Or I'm going to go out and it's going to be like, damn, it's past 7 o'clock, but I'm out with the homies or I'm out with the family. I want to eat. You know, I'm on vacation. I want to eat. I want to drink. You know, so you got to find those consistencies, and that's what takes you across the finish line. The diet that you can maintain. But goddamn, finding that shit is even trial and error. So good luck, people. Happy fucking Saturday. This time I'm really getting out of here.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without, I think still got a gun.